Good evening and salutations, my Days of Our Lives fans. I'm just wondering what part to start off first. Let's start off with Susan Banks still continued to try to be Kristen and Brady because eventually, well, Susan screws up. Okay. First, when Brady walks in there, he's asking, you know what tomorrow is, right? And Susan's like, it's going to be Saturday, and Brady's like, it's Rachel's birthday. What are you talking? What's going on? So there's a couple more mess ups that Susan makes, as far as like not remembering, Rachel's favorite animal and some other stuff, and just the way she was acting was just very off. So it comes to a point where Susan writes, on a birthday card, and she writes something along the lines of something, love Susan. And Brady's like, what's this? What's going on? And then the wheels start turning, and he realizes that is Susan. It's not Kristen. So at this point, I'm sitting there thinking this guy's about to have a heart attack or faint or something. He starts grilling her about everything. And, after a while, Susan just spills everything, The whole plan, Vivian and everything. And it was just a lot of stuff. And even with the whole Vivian and, Kristen being friends and stuff like that, it just didn't make sense to Brady. So she pretty much spills the whole plan and why Kristen did it as far as, trying to make sure that Brady was okay and, Brady didn't get with Chloe and all this other stuff like that. So she spills everything. But now Brady's like, listen, I need you to continue being Kristen just a little bit longer because here's the thing. The judge, the cops, they find out Kristen's going to do a lot of time. Probably even more time than when she busted out the first time. So Susan agrees and, Brady tries to go and look for her. Now, Kristen walks downstairs to get Kate. And somehow Kate, gets herself free from the ropes and everything like that. They start fighting with the needle because, she's like, yo, listen, you're going to be out. You're going to wake up. You're going to be in this island or someplace with maybe rats or whatever. I don't know. Wherever they decide, you're going to go somewhere. And so they start fighting or whatever with the needle. And they're struggling. And then somebody gets stabbed. Now, they don't know, at this point, before the commercial break happens, you don't know who got stabbed. Of course, I know who got stabbed. It was Kate, because, look at Kristen. She's like a damn Amazon. You're not taking her. What are you, nuts? So anyway, she, injects her, puts her in, like this huge duffel bag or whatever. But now she has to sit there and pretend to be Kate again. So she's going out, going out the house or whatever. And she gets stopped by Jake. Now Jake is asking a bunch of questions like, no, this isn't real. This isn't you. What's going on? Tell me the truth. They argue back and forth. And finally, after a few minutes, Jake is just like, alright, fine, whatever. He just doesn't stop her anymore. And, Kristen just goes off with a giant duffel bag. Now, granted, there was a couple of times when, Jake, kept, trying to stop her by, getting the duffel bag, and she was no, start yelling and stuff like that. And I'm sitting there thinking, if you start to yell any louder, you're going to sound like yourself and not I don't know. I felt like something was going to happen. But anyway, it didn't happen and Kristen was able to get Kate in the car. So she's driving to the airport or whatever. And somewhere along the line, Kate gets, she wakes up and she unzips herself out the duffel bag or whatever. Now she's sitting there fighting with Kristen. I'm sitting there thinking, Kate, do you really think it's a good idea for you to be sitting there fighting with this woman while she's driving? I get you want to get out, but, do you really want to get into a car accident? So, at this point, Kristen's not looking at the road. And, Brady's not there speeding to sit there and try to find Kristen to get her back to jail before, she really gets in a lot of trouble. So long story short, it looks like either they crash or someone crashes. I have no idea who, but, I guess that's why they call it Cliffhanger Fridays. Now let's go with the whole Lucas and Chloe, because this whole scene was just, I don't even know what to call it at this point. This whole episode was just wild in a sense. But, so Lucas is sitting there waiting in the examination room for this doctor. Now he calls up Samuel like, yo, listen, this doctor's not going to find anything, and we're going to be right back to square one. So Chloe comes in there, and, Smith, they're trying to comfort him and everything like that. Now, at some point, this doctor comes in. Apparently, this is like a flashback scene. So the doctor comes in, and Lucas looks at this doctor like, you look hella familiar. I think you call yourself Dr. Dunn or something with a D. I can't even remember. But anyway, he's sitting there talking. He's like, yeah, I looked at your scans and everything like that, and, you really are sick. Now, at first, I was like, I hope I wasn't right about that, because my theory was that Lucas was going to go see a real doctor, and then a real doctor was going to sit there and tell him that, like, he's, like, actually sick. Which I'm kind of glad that's not the case, because Lucas is kind of growing on me a little bit. But anyway, this doctor, whatever, is like, yeah, you don't have that much longer to live, and, you need to kind of just spend your last days, with somebody that, or, talking about just, like, find a way to spend your last days with, like, somebody that you love and stuff like that, and I'm assuming that you are his partner or whatever. So just kind of just talking up the fact that, this doctor wants, him to make the most of his days and to spend it with somebody that he loves or cares about. So he says all that stuff, and then he leaves. And Chloe, it's like, yeah, whatever. Like, they talk for a little bit, and then Chloe leaves the room. Now, the doctor, I guess, comes back, and Lucas remembered, apparently, the real doctor, whatever, he knew from way back when. And, when the doctor starts talking, and, Lucas like, you're Sammy, and then he do the whole Sammy voice or whatever, I was like, man, that's crazy that you just put on a doctor's mask, like, face mask. I'm like, that mask must have, like, mystical powers, because, I mean, I could have swore there was, like, hair on your chest, and I'm pretty sure you are somewhat kind of busty. And I didn't say anything to that doctor, so I don't understand that, but you know what, I guess we're just going to just say it's soap opera magic and just kind of call it a day. So she takes off the mask, she's like, yeah, I saved you, whatever, like, you just got to go out there and finish playing the part. So that's pretty much what Lucas does, he's like, yeah, when I have my last days or whatever, I want to go to Antarctica because I like penguins. Okay, and then, Lucas like, yeah, I want you to come with me, I would like to spend my last days with you. So Sammy comes in and kind of helps sell it. The problem at this point is that I felt like Sammy was overconfident. Because the same things that she said when she was pretending to be the doctor, it's the same thing that she said when she was talking to Chloe, as far as, like, spending your last days with someone that, you care about or whatever. And just the way she was sitting there talking, the words that she was sitting there using. Chloe started to figure it out a little bit. Now, I said that Chloe is kind of a moron, and she is when it comes towards Brady. But I don't think she's that stupid, and she even recognized, she seemed like she recognized the doctor a little bit, like from way back when. Apparently she had some scars on her face or something like that, but the wheels started turning, and she was like, she said something like she was going to remember something. So now I'm actually kind of psyched to sit there and see this Monday's episode. I am, because it seems like it's going to be pretty good. Now, the final scene, I think, is the whole Allie and Chanel scene, because here's the thing. They get right back to that part where Trip walks in, see Allie kissing Chanel, and walks out. Now, they finish kissing, and Allie's like, what was that? And Chanel's like, it was a kiss. And Allie's like, yeah, here's the thing. I don't go that way. And at first, Chanel's like, why don't other? And so I'm sitting there thinking, so why did you kiss her for? And then she's like, oh, well, just kind of in the moment, we were just reminiscing and stuff like that. And then she tells her, a little bit about herself, as far as like, yeah, I've been with some women, mostly guys, but some women and stuff like that. And so Allie's like, so you're bi? And then Chanel's like, well, I don't like to have labels. So I was like, I'm not even going to touch that one. I'm just not even going to, nope, not going there. So with that being said, now it's just awkward tension, because at one point, Chanel's like, so what did you think of the kiss? Did you enjoy it or whatever? And I'm like, Allie has this look on her face like she doesn't know what to say. Because partly I'm sitting there thinking, well, does she actually enjoy the kiss? Or does she just not want to hurt her feelings and just have it be even more awkward? So they go back and forth, and because at this point now Chanel's like, I want to make sure this doesn't mess up our friendship, and we've been so good and stuff like that, and like I'm just now seeing you again and stuff, so I don't want things between us to change. So after more of an awkward conversation, they both kind of agreed to just kind of drop it and just focus on their friendship and just kind of, finding some jobs or whatever and just hanging out and having a good time. Now, Trip is bummed because he walks out, he sees Claire, he's like, yeah, I thought she was into me, but, she was there kissing someone else. Claire was like, well, I didn't think she was into another guy. And Trip was like, yeah, she wasn't kissing a guy, she was kissing a girl. So this threw back Claire, and Claire was like, what? But then, they're talking a little bit more, and Trip brings up the fact that, yeah, it was Chanel that was kissing her. They were drinking and stuff like that, and just having a good time. And that's when Claire was like, oh, so she's going to do to her what she tried to do to us. No, absolutely not. We're going to put a stop to that right now. So they walk in there, and Claire is just like, she sees them like hanging out and talking. She's like, get your hands off my cousin. Chanel gets that eye rolling thing like, ugh. And so now it's about to go down. Because Claire was like, yo, how did they even know each other? But I guess we're going to find that's going to be a whole mess. That's going to be a whole mess, but that should be somewhat interesting on Monday. I'm just wondering, was Jake actually drunk when he confronted Kristen being Kate? Because the way he was acting, I couldn't tell. But I don't know. I mean, they argued for a little bit, and then, and also, I'm not gonna lie, I did this like 3 times because I didn't like how the first 2 came out. So if I repeat myself, I'm sorry. I don't know if I mentioned the fact that Jake was there trying to convince Kristen being Kate to stay, and that didn't go over so well. And it's weird because Kate is going out in this giant duffel bag that apparently is the size that could hold Kate's entire body. And he argued. At one point, here's the thing. I thought that Jake was going to, well, start kind of manhandling Kate. But I don't think that would have went so well. Kristen seems like she has a hell of a lot of strength. And I'm pretty sure she would have probably knocked over Jake. Like, she just comes across as just like an Amazon, you know? Like, yo, you're not stopping her, so you should just move out of her way. But, yeah. Anyway, with that being said, I think that's about it. If I missed anything, please let me know in the comment section below. And if I already talked about the Jake and Kristen being Kate thing, then I'm sorry, but I did it like 3 times. And I like how the other ones came out, and so I was like, yeah, I'm not putting those out. So, with that being said, I'm going to go, but I want to thank everyone for watching. I hope everyone has a great weekend. I wish every mother a happy Mother's Day, and see you in the next video.